GM, can you just like introduce yourself, like your own background before we get into the super stuff? Like, who are you? How did you get here? How did we get here today?
Okay, thank you so much for the whole thing. I am Jatin Pandya. I am from Mumbai, India, and I have been Web3 for quite a long time now. I remember joining the whole mission towards a decentralized internet around 2021 December, I guess, or something. So it's been like more than 3 years now. I have been through various other roles from product to growth and then Devrel, and I come from a very core technical background, that is computer science major, as well as I have had my fair share of exploring around machine learning and other stuff as well. But a decentralized internet still caught my attention. Number one, and I'll be very unfiltered here, is because I have watched a lot of Silicon Valley on Netflix, and when I was in college. And to be very honest with you, I was one of the few people who were like, who just wants to do something meaningful with the tech that I work for, and so I was a big fan of the book Hit Refresh. It's by Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. And
Oh,
one thing
yeah.
that it taught me is that anything or everything that we do in tech should be with purpose. So when I saw the whole Netflix series, I was like, oh, this decentralized internet thing sounds cool. Although it was like a totally different in nature, how they perceived it. But I was like, you know what, an internet owned by people, run by people, where data is like, not so much exploitable, it sounds really cool as a concept. But then I came across a few projects who talk about blockchain exists like a long before the whole crypto hype started. So but we used to know about blockchain just as like, a decentralized ledger, that's it. People didn't talk much about how blockchain is going to be this huge, and definitely a lot of us not haven't predicted it. So when I started going inside it, deep more research on the whole topic, and then I came across the very first few products initially. I remember when I started my first job, it was not as a Devrel, but more towards product and growth side of Web3. It was at the startup. It's a San Francisco-based startup that used to work on this, SDKs for decentralized identities for IoT devices and apps. And it was a great experience to first hand see how the whole decentralization stuff is different from how they perceive it or show it in the series and the movies, right? But in core, the aim was same, right? Give people back their privacy, give people back ownership. And I think that's how I started with the whole decentralized Web3 internet stuff. And as I move forward, I came across Ethereum, I came across Polygon, I came across Solana. And how that's how it all started. My first language was Solidity, and I was not a fan of Rust. I don't know why, but I just, I'm sorry, Solana people. And ironically, some of my really, really good, friends in Web3 are actually from Super Team and Solana. So that's another ironic thing there. So you shout out to my Gujju gang. But the thing is, I started with Solidity, learning a little bit about how things work, what is a smart contract in the first place, how blockchains actually work in the first place. They are just not a backend, they are more than that. dApps are not just another thing, they are more than that. And then I joined this another roll up as a service provider, and they hired me, and I joined them as a founding Devrel, and bought all of my experiences from the growth and product sites as a Devrel. Worked there for quite a long time, almost 2 years, and built the whole Devrel team from the scratch, created initiatives, worked with everyone from marketing to BD to make sure that as a Devrel we are setting up a community who knows how infrastructure plays a big role in Web3. And then again, after some time, I genuinely wanted to explore projects that has this core passion towards tech, right? I decided that if I want to switch to another company, I will do it just because of the tech. So after deciding that, and after spending a really good time in Japan, I remember I was in Tokyo at that point when I joined Supra. And so Supra, I already knew Supra because of one of the colleagues. She's in the BD and events team right now, and I met her way before in India Blockchain Week. So she and told me all about what Supra Oracles is. It used to be Supra Oracles back then when I came across it. I saw it as Oracles and price feed provider. I went through it. There was a really good paper about the whole intra layer, and I was like, oh, this team is really cool. They have more research and technical people than the all the jibber jabber of marketing, you know and I was like, okay, something good for a change in a project. And when the things started unfolding itself, and when I was just looking for a new opportunity, Supra and I have happened to like see each other at a really good place. And then I was like, the tech itself is really good, and the team, for a change, is a team which is continuously focusing on shipping good things out you know and people say that, oh, this team has lack of marketing and culture, but what I see is people who are doing more marketing and culture are literally doing nothing else, right? So for me, this team actually sold me with a very, very strong ambition towards actually building something of value. And now that's why I do all the white paper simplified thing on Twitter as well, so that people can also know what is actual meaning and purpose behind all the white papers that Supra publish. And yeah, that's the whole background, that's the whole gig.
Yeah, yeah, that was an extensive background. So, you guys, Jatin is here for the tech, right? That's a big thing that we usually see sometimes in Web3. We're like, are you here for the money or here for the tech? Our own diplomatic answer is usually, we're here for the come for the money, but the tech is the tech that will still lead you to the money as well. But Jatin has made the money, guys, so now he's here for the tech. He's only here for the tech. But definitely, it was interesting to hear that. This is why you guys should attend our events. Yeah, you can see you say you met someone from Supra Team Arts in that blockchain week. So that's amazing to hear. That's amazing to hear. So so shout out to you for bringing Jatin into Supra, or letting him know of Supra in the first place. So why Supra? Why Supra? Let's do an elevator pitch. Let's do just like 1 minute. Why Supra?
Look, if I talk about Supra, on why Supra, it will go very longer than 1 minute, but I'll keep it like short, simple, and very crisp to the point. Okay. The number one point which I told you about was my intention to only switching my organization for opportunity to work for a good tech, right? Which was not the case in my past org. So this time I actually wanted to bring all of my I guess I don't know how to what is the right word, but I guess expertise in developer relations, my experiences across hackathons and building developer communities, my experiences talking to tens of thousands of developers across years in Web3, everything at a place where I can actually add value and get value out of it. So when I came across Supra, it was not just oracles. They were at a place where they were imagining or building or envisioning this fully vertically integrated blockchain. And I was like, so I was not a fan of layer 1 and layer 2 chains, because after some point the whole concept became like so overcrowded that every day you wake up, before you get a glass of water, you get more L2s. And and so it was those days. And when I was like, okay, so Supra was a oracle and now it's building its L1, but how is it different? And then I talked to a few team members. I went to the website. I saw the whole actual idea of what a vertically integrated blockchain means. And I love how they phrased it as an iPhone moment of Web3. Because if you remember the Steve Jobs speech, right, when he was like, imagine a phone, like a media player and internet. Imagine a phone, media player, like all three elements, and then continuously saying it and saying it till a point where he's like, imagine all of it in one. And then he unveiled the iPhone. And then the whole world like went bonkers, crazy. And imagine that. And I was like, okay, so how is this an iPhone moment? Because that's like a big deal to say. And then I went across, okay, so you are not just a layer one chain. It's like if you see from the top, it's just another layer one chain. But if you come down and see it from sideways, you see it's a stack, right? It's a layer one chain, inside which you have oracles, you have randomness verifiable function, right? The This like verifiable random function is like one of the Supra services, the DVRF, right? So you have this like DVRF service, you have oracles, you have native automation, right? Automation is something which I was very always have been conflicting about, because you use external triggers, external bots, external agencies to do that for you, and they end up looting your they end up like draining your wallets, or they end up like hacking your wallets, or making your private key leaked. And imagine somebody working on automation on a block level. I was like, it's crazy. I mean, what else are you guys working on? So automation. And then the one thing that just sells me, like it just like appeal to me at that point, was multi VM. And even right now, I'll tell you, when the token Dubai thing happened, right? And or wherever we go as a Devrel, I am expected to not only be good in tech, right, as an engineer, but I'm also be expected to, and I must have to be a really good BD/marketer. I should know how to sell the vision of tech that we are building in a way that people understand. Because when we explain people from a technical background, we say a lot of jibber jabber, a lot of jargons, and after some point, people just lost us. It's like, oh man, so much tech. Just simplify it for us. So I think that's why Devrel is an important role, because you have to first understand it, simplify it, and then start talking about it. And wherever I go, 9 out of 10 people, or 8 out of 10 people at least, are more excited about the multi VM. Because I mean, multi VM is the one thing that even was like, oh damn. I mean, they are not just another move layer like Aptos or Sui, right? After working on Move VM testnet, after working on Move VM mainnet, they did TGE with Move VM mainnet. Essentially being the third move layer one after Aptos and Sui, which is on mainnet, and let's be honest, working. You know, and that was like amazing. And now we shipped our EVM. We are actually in process, me and our developer marketing manager John K. We are working on this early access group for our Supra EVM alpha testnet. So testnet alpha, and or you can call it devnet, whatever you want, before we go out on public testnet. And after EVM, we will jump on Solana VM, and it's so exciting. And then I was like, okay, so is it the end of your chain? And it was not the end of the chain. They had their own this bridgeless L1 to L1 internal communication thing called Supranova. At that point, it used to call as Hypernova. Now it's Supranova. And I'm like, oh, the team is just a bunch of awesome like innovators and researchers and all that. And that's why I said I came for the tech, because that whole tech appealed to me. Imagine a team which is actually focusing on giving you a good piece of tech than just giving you a thousand KOL marketed post. And that's the kind of team that I personally wanted to join as a Devrel. And that's what I have been doing, since the day I joined Supra. It has always been the highlight, shipping good tech. I think that's the summarize version of it.
Shipping good tech. Like you've spoken about that a lot, right? You really have that focus. You just want good tech. You just want good tech. But yeah, definitely, like you said, I think that's one thing that I've really gotten to know about Supra. Shout out to Okiki, my friend, that's always telling me about Supra and all of that. Like what I've gotten to know is that there is a lot of things that Supra is trying to do, right? So many things they are trying to ship, and yeah, you're also right. It's the multi VM thing that caught me as well. That's what caught me the most. It sounds like most exciting. Um, so I'm even kind of looking at it. Wouldn't it be best to kind of focus on a particular set of products, like core things that Supra has, to try and like focus on those ones before trying to roll out new things?
I mean, I think that's a kind of question that depends on person to person, right? So for example, still a lot of like projects use our oracles, and oracles only, right? And a lot of them use our VRF and oracles only, not entirely the L1, because they're coming towards this narrative of Supra as a layer 1 from what Supra used to be as oracles. And at the same time, we have all this amazing projects on MoveVM who are building this really great solutions on our MoveVM itself, right? You have Dexlin, you have Kristara doing amazing job, you have the Pumpit.fun folks, and then you have this new projects coming out. You have recently Solido launching the cash, um, coin, and you have the other marketing projects as well going on, raiding the awareness and everything like Growfitter or more stuff. And I think that's how everybody can see Supra. It's not just a simple way of seeing as a one single product. It's like, so Supra has this suite of products which is important in Web3, and you can use either of them, or you can be a part of a greater ecosystem, right? Which consists of each one of them inside its execution, like the main L1. I can give an example, right? How I said it's an iPhone moment. Now imagine you see someone with an iPhone but not an Apple Watch, a normal watch, right? You see someone with an iPhone and an Apple Watch but not with a Mac, but maybe like a Windows laptop. Or sometimes you see someone with a Mac, an iPhone, but just a normal headset, not an airport, right? So it's like everybody use an individual product, right? But when they use each and every product of Apple, it's a combined ecosystem, the Apple ecosystem, right? And they just enjoy the connectivity. They just enjoy that one single, like, natural flow that combines all of the Apple services together. That phone connecting with your Apple Watch, and then you are going around metro and subway, and then you are just tapping your watch, and it's just get deducting from your credit card and your phone, right? Or you are sending your stuff from phone to your Mac, or directly Mac to an iPad, and you are just doing the googling and the designing, and then directly sending it back to your email, to to your iPhone as a wallpaper. I mean, imagine a combined ecosystem, right? So if you ask about one service, one product, one offering from Supra, you can either focus on a layer one, which has this adjoined products all working together to give you a whole ecosystem, or you can just come towards Supra as this really fast working layer one, which is on Move. You can come to Supra, you can build on MoveVM, you can build amazing dApps, and as you move forward, you can integrate the other offerings, right? Maybe you are a trading or swapping or a governance dApp working on Supra Move. Now you're like, if I add automation of Supra, I'll reduce a lot of work. So you started to like plan for integrating Supra's automation. Then you are like, if I also add Supra's oracles, then I will have a really high performance efficient oracle system right now, to show price feeds and regular price updates. Then you just integrate it, and that's just like that. There is, that is the greater goal, right? It's not just giving people the freedom that modularity offers, but at the same time a very integrated ecosystem that shows all kinds of services. So I think that's a very best way to put it.
Yeah, yeah. I get the explanation. I like how you explained it. Went back to the iPhone thing again. I like how you went back to the iPhone moment thing again. So let's say again, let's just look at going back, continuing with the whole iPhone thing, looking at Supra as as Apple, right? What are the suite of products, if you just want to go through them briefly, that we can use on Supra or use through Supra?
Okay, so certainly the number one thing is the whole layer one chain, right? The layer one chain is the end game. It's the grand goal. It's like the Avengers, right? You have all the best working together. You have oracles, you have VRF, you have automation, and Supranova, MoveVM, the whole multi VM thing, everything working together, right? So I think you can just jump on the layer one chain and then you can just use it. But if you talk about some other suite of products, then you have oracles, you have the DVRF, right? And you have automation, and then you have the Supranova, which is like the L1 to L1, bridgeless communication thing. And it's just that all these different products are also there out. And sometimes a lot of projects wants to get started by using our oracles, right? So maybe if you want to be a part of Supra ecosystem, you can start from using our oracles and VRF, and then slowly build towards deploying your DApp on our own EVM or a MoveVM chain, and then maybe making it more better by integrating automation. So I think all of this are a bunch of offerings that Supra has, but the layer one just sums it all.
Okay, okay. So if okay, EVM is not EVM is something you're still working on right now, right? So it's not something that they can join yet. But I suppose the goal is that in the future, when EVM is live, so EVM apps can now come into, like, how do they come into the super ecosystem? Is it that they come onto the they come into the MoveVM, or what's the idea there?
Okay, so imagine that it's not multiple blockchains, right? We have this unique architecture called clans and tribes architecture, okay, which is powered by the Moonshoot consensus, of course, for the speed and efficiency purposes. But imagine the whole network as a tribe, okay, like how we call Supra tribe, if you have heard around. So they imagine the whole network as a tribe, and then inside the tribe you have this multiple clans all working together, you know and each clan is handling a different set of like utility of itself. Oracles one clan, VRF one clan, EVM one clan, something else. And the who when so EVM is actually live right now on the testnet alpha slash devnet, whatever you call it, and will be live on public testnet soon, right? MoveVM is already live on mainnet since last year,
Yeah.
and we already have some really good bunch of dApps on mainnet right now, including the NFT, side, as well as the DEX side, swaps, wallets, right? And continuously getting new all along the way. Some cool AI NFT artworks are coming along. So when a person from EVM side wants to join the Supra ecosystem, um, essentially the biggest blocker they face when they want to come into the Move ecosystem, wants to tap into the Move liquidity, user base, and all that, is that they have to learn a totally new ecosystem. They have to learn Move as a programming language. They have to learn this new set of rules, workings, and this new set of like whole psychological change when you actually go to a different language and a different ecosystem. So what Supra is doing right now is, if you're coming from an EVM ecosystem, you can just use Supra EVM, right? Even right now, I have shipped two demos on Twitter, on my Twitter, where the first demo was about connecting to Starkey wallet and deploying a Solidity contract using Remix ID. It was very simple. It was a very simple Solidity contract that can be launched on any other EVM chain. I just used that contract and launched it on Supra EVM by connecting it to Starkey Wallet and Remix IDE. Okay. The other demo was using Hard Hat and VS Code, make a DAO platform using Solidity, and just launched it on Supra. And the same contract, the same project, and the same thing can be launched on another EVM chain like Monad, right? Or Megaeth, using Hard Hat. So the whole idea of Supra EVM is for all the EVM developers out there, for the EVM comfortable like builder ecosystems out there, for them, coming on Supra should not be a task which is like big enough for them to just like walk away, right? They should not even think about Move as a language, or what Move is, or is there any Move at all. When they're coming to Supra EVM, they should think about is, it's a network where there is an EVM. We can just bring our Solidity dApps, we can deploy it on their Supra EVM, and then we can get all the amazing benefits. Plus, one of the biggest perks is network fees, like the whole gas fee is very cheap. I remember deploying the Solidity contract I did in like 0.00317 for Supra, and that's like super cheap, man. And that was a Solidity contract with like mint, burn, deploy, and transfer features. The custom token launch contract that you get in Solidity. And imagine that being deployed in like such a cheap level of fee. Plus, it got deployed in like, I don't know, 13 seconds. I mean, the video is live on Twitter. If anybody wants to verify me, don't worry, this thing does not breaks. So, you know, and that's the best part, right? They can just come on Supra EVM, deploy, and then then they join this community, which was full of people from multiple ecosystems. So even though you're coming from EVM, even you're deploying a DApp on EVM, the user base that you will get, where you will market it or you will share about it, is a big pool of users. When you join the Discord is not just where you have the Solidity devs, you also have the devs from Move, which are coming from the Move ecosystem, right? So imagine being able to tap into that user base in Supra, which is coming from Move, by actually just coming from EVM. Don't you think that's the most beautiful part about the multi VM thing? It's like seeing Spider-Man and Iron Man together in Spider-Man Homecoming, or it's like seeing all the three Spider-Mans together in Spider No Way Home. You like the Marvel universes because you see all the superheroes in the same movie, not because you like all the heroes. I mean, come on, who likes Hawkeye, who likes Black Widow before they came to MCU, right? You start liking them because you started seeing them in Avengers, right? So imagine the beauty of somebody coming from a EVM ecosystem. Yeah, we'll just deploy it. We have a code, just deploy it using hard hat, foundry, whatever you want. And now you join the community, and the community is full of this new user base. That's how a EVM person can get the best of the both worlds, and the third world when Solana comes along.
So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I think that's the that's a beautiful clip that you can just give to EVM EVM people, that this is the use case. This is why Supra for you, right? Because like what you've been able to help me understand about Supra as we've been speaking is that there's really is a whole ecosystem, right? It's a whole ecosystem. So Supra can mean different things to different people, right? So I guess there are like different pitches that you can give to different people, right? So okay, there's the move as like okay, somebody that is on a project that is on Sui or Aptos, there's a pitch for you that is different. You that are an EVM, DApp, there's a different pitch. You as well that are coming from okay. So okay, let's just do this in under 1 minute for the Solana people upcoming in the future. Why should you be keeping an eye on Supra?
I mean, in the future, there are the Solana VMs. Something I am also very excited about, because one thing that I personally know, living in India, is Solana's developer community is very, very diverse, loyal, and huge here, thanks to the whole super team things that they do here in India. And as I said, like some of my very good friends in Web3 are from super team, and they are like super active and very um you know good time builders on Solana. So in future, I think that's why the Solana VM makes a lot of sense for Supra to bring, because I mean, Solana will bring the whole the Rust ecosystem, or this whole Solana ecosystem of developers to also be able to see the value, and the opportunity to come on Supra, right? And it goes the same way, if you think about it, it's the same thing. So when Solana VM will launch in the future, the people from Solana ecosystem, they will be able to be like, oh, so there is a way, or there is a layer one chain on which we don't have to essentially change our preference, right? We can still be the Solana people. Our dApps can still be the Solana dApps, right? The Solana compatible dApps, and we can still deploy on this chain. But this time we are getting an access to this huge pool of use of this community, where you have Ethereum and Move people. I mean, it's like you're deploying your dApp in an omni-chain community, without making your dApp like this omni-chain dApp that just reduces the simplicity and increase the complexity. It's just like too much headache, but and I think that's why I personally, again, personal belief of mine, why multi-VM appeal more whenever we go to events, is because it's just, as humans, psychologically we love our comfort zone, right? I mean, we don't want to change our comfort zone. So I think that's the thing, we have our own comfort zone as already set up, right? So Ethereum or EVM can be someone's comfort zone. The Solana VM can be someone's comfort zone, right? And they might not be comfortable coming to Move, which is like one of the biggest blockers in this ecosystem. And Move can be comfort zone as well for some people. I came from Solidity and I started liking Move a lot now, but and then one chain catering to everybody, saying that it's okay, we understand you're all humans, but the multi VM thing is right for you. Stay in your comfort zone and still get this whole omni chain big community of people.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. Supra, the home for everyone.
Exactly, it's for
Supra,
everyone.
the home for everyone. Supra, the home for everyone. The marketing people should pay attention to that. That could work. That could definitely work. Everything we've been discussing, right? It's gotten me thinking about the USP, that's the unique selling points of kind of like owning your own chain, right? I'm sure like you want like your own custom block space and all of that, right? So you now have something like AVAX offers that, right? That you can launch your own one under AVAX, that kind of thing. I think Caldera also has that kind of thing of a network of chains. I think Cosmos is also something like that. So how is that idea like kind of similar to what Supra has, right? Of like welcoming everybody. How is that idea kind of similar? I don't know. It just came to my mind as you were talking about all of this.
I guess so. I think there are people who are always asking me about like how is it different from the whole Cosmos stuff that happens, right? And I just let them know that we are actually even planning to introduce a Cosmos VM in Supra. And see, that's the reaction, right? I mean, it is not just a tagline for us like any other chain. We actually mean when we say that it is for everyone, not just a tagline that randomly we use, on Twitter. So honestly, there are a lot of questions. So when we say that, the whole avalanche, this the subnets that people create, they are on essentially claim to be their own chains. And then you have like Caldera, you have the Gelato, and then you have Gateway.fm, all of them, providing this roll-ups and building on top of Ethereum, creating their own versions of chains. So they are like different as well. And then you have the Cosmos ecosystem essentially doing its own thing. And even if you think about it, even the Polkadot has like the Polkadot, like I think they have their own thing where you can do it. I'm not getting the name. I think Polkadot also has some service. I forgot the name, you know but that's the thing. So I think everybody is like trying to come up with their own concept. Supra has a totally different approach because we are not creating individual blockchains. One thing that people should look at Supra is they have made a very uniquely and a very like appealing infrastructure. The whole architecture of the chain is, it's really good if somebody really reads into it. When I came to understand about like how the traps and clients architecture, the clients and tribe architecture works, from our own research team in India Blockchain Week. We had like one of our main research team leads, Dr. Raghavendra, in India Blockchain Week. And then when I was in ETH Denver this year, I met our chief research officer, Dr. Aniket Kate. And when I meet Josh, it's always a pleasure whenever I meet Josh. Josh is our CEO, and he is super ambitious. Like, whenever he talks about all the technical possibilities, he's always coming up with the ways to improve the chain. He is like, oh, AI is big, how can we include AI in wallet and chain and make people experience better, right? I mean, you have people saying how to use AI to do marketing better, but on the one hand you have a CEO saying how to use AI to make experiences better, right? And that's the one thing that I love. That, I mean, eventually it's all just gonna settle down to one thing, that Supra as a chain has been this one thing which is catering to all kinds of audiences without deploying an individual chain all the time, so that's why we are inherently very different. We are not deploying individual chains, or we are not creating this layer 2 chains on us. It is all a, the multi VM thing, it's all a part of our architecture, right? It's not a separate tribe of its own, or it's not a separate blockchain that Supra is doing like Caldera or Gelato, right? We are not deploying this roll ups. It's just that the whole layer 1 chain is made in a way that caters the multi VM utility of its.
Yeah, that makes sense. So why were you couldn't get the name of the Polkadot thing? So Grok came to the rescue. They're called parachains. Yeah,
Parachains, polka dot parachains, right? Yeah, I
parachains.
now
Yeah.
remember.
So Grok to the rescue there. So we've really discussed the entire Supra ecosystem, right? The entire Supra ecosystem as looking at it as kind of like Apple. So Supra the home for everyone. So everybody can come in, everybody can do their own thing. So let's now actually look at that. What is available on Supra today? What is available on Supra today? Looking at the Supra ecosystem, can you give an overview of the Supra ecosystem? What can we go in to do right now? What are like your standouts, dApps, your what is live? What can we start doing on today? What are the opportunities on Supra?
Start building super dApps right now. I mean, even right now, today, at this very second, you know, you can just join Supra. You can start building on our MoveVM. You can join the early access group and even start building on our EVM, right? Any of the one where you're comfortable. I would suggest go to MoveVM because it is live on mainnet. You can use our oracles right now. You can use our DVRF right now. You can use our automation which is on public testnet right now. You can use our Supernova, the bridgeless L1 to L1 communication, which is also on public testnet right now. you know our dev toolings are available right now. The oracle price feed is one of the most efficient out in the industry for developers to use using our documentation right now. So Supra's all the features that we are seeing which adds a lot of value are available right now, right? Only EVM is in a early access phase because we are starting off with the whole devnet slash testnet alpha, but you will see the public testnet like very 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 soon. I don't think I can drop the date right now in a podcast, but it's like super soon, man. Like super soon. Plus, even
Mm.
right now, we are no longer just withheld with the stuff that do you even know that we have this Robbie the robot thing on Twitter? It's like our own ex AI agent, so you can just ask Robbie the robot, which is powered by Supra oracles. You can be like, hey, at Robbie the robot, just notify me when Bitcoin goes more than $103,000, and Robbie the robot
Mhm.
will give you the data using our Oracle price feeds, right? We are training our own unique AI models, right? I am actually a part of the whole XAI team. I worked with one of our research team people, Dr. David Yang, on the whole AI model thing. Right now, I'm also working on Supra's AI agent. So you know why it's actually one of the things. If you go and ask in to a chat to like chat GPT or cloud AI as well, Supra is actually one of the best chains to work or start building AI agents, because Supra as a chain, it's not limited. Supra gives you an access to multiple ecosystem, multiple utilities products at the same time. And Supra is also focusing on AI agents. I am personally very, very, very big fan of how people can use the multi VM and all the interoperability and automation and just build this amazing AI agents on top of Supra. Right? I have been a big fan of how the whole AI agents thing is transforming our blockchain industry. Right? Unlike so one thing that I love to say all the time is, unlike Web 2, Web 3 does not fear AI, right? Or does not fear a new piece of tech. We take a new piece of tech and make it our own. We take it and then integrate it into our existing tech and make it better, you know. So Supra is actually working on amazing things which will make AI agents on Supra super awesome and easy at the same time. You will see having this AI agents, repos, and hubs coming from Supra on GitHub. You will see this unique frameworks and SDKs coming from our side. You will see this guides coming from outside. Might as well see something of like a AI agents hackathon or something soon. So I think this is what you have right now to use on Supra. There is nothing
Yeah.
which is not available right now except Solana VM.
Okay, okay. So you definitely identified, right? You identified Super Team as like a definitely a huge driver for growth, right? So are there plans, like, since you've been able to identify this, that this is a concept that works, right? In Web3, I call Web3 a startup space in its entirety, right? Nobody has figured it out. Nobody knows what works in its entirety. But like there's at least two things that I think work right now. We're definitely sure that, oh, the community model, right? The community model as the base layer, that's important, that works, right? Then number two for me right now, I'm seeing that a super team, which is kind of like a regional community in each of your to drive the adoption of your chain. So how does Super has talked about a lot of exciting things, right? A lot of exciting things, a lot of beautiful tech that they want to bring forward that can definitely make things better. But how do you drive growth? How do you drive all of these things? Yeah.
Of course. So I think I'm glad that you brought up the topic of community. So number one is, as you mentioned, the Spartans, right? The Supra Spartans. So Supra Spartans is actually, imagine it is like a close or not so close group of, like, it's just a group of people who have been contributing to the Supra ecosystem for quite a good time. And they rise up to different levels: Spartans, Novice, intermediate, advanced levels. You have the Devrel Spartans. So the Spartans have always been the community leaders from Supra's front. They are the ones who do a lot of education. They are the ones who do a lot of awareness. They are the ones who provide of all the validated and the right information. Because you see, misinformation about any altcoin is has become a very big issue on Twitter. You have this X number of accounts telling you all the misinformations of the world, that X coin is listing on X exchange on X date and X time. So Spartans are actually the force of, like, community that Supra has, where they not only become a part of Supra ecosystem, they get rewards, of course, for performing so many amazing contributions, but at the same time, they are this group of ambassadors who have always been on the forefront, sharing the right information, supporting the right initiatives, carrying out awareness, education, right threads, blogs, videos, whatever that makes sense. Now we have a new addition to the Spartan community called Devrel Spartans. The Devrel teams started this whole initiative of Devrel Spartans to cater to the kind of audience which are interested in becoming DevRels in the future. So giving them, training them, and working on the tasks which are relevant in a DevRel perspective in Web3. And then we have this really cool few bunch of people who are helping us out, and they are helping us out in many ways. The Spartans help us out with feedback on documentation, focus groups on documentation, create technical videos for us, write articles in threads as well. So I think that's how Supra Spartan is. But the community, now the first point about like the broader and general community, I think this general community is also driven by sentiment. We see a lot of community pages, Telegram groups, which are out there because they are out there. They like what Supra has become, and they started the community because they love how the innovation is going out right now. And I think that's the best part about it, that this many of them are essentially no more Spartans or not Spartans at all, but they still do things because they just like to let the community go. And I think that's the very core of altcoins in general. Altcoins is a space, I personally believe in altcoins. You don't see them like BTC or Sol or ETH, where one day it's all up, the other day it's all down. Altcoins are from ecosystems who continue to innovate, And as they continue to innovate, the whole TVL or the whole financial economic side of them, like their tokens and everything, they continuously grow with them, and once they stop innovating, it goes stagnant, and once they go innovating more, it goes up. And I think that's such a piece of thing that I believe in.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So let's say we want to round up now, right? We're trying to round up. So in like a minute, can we like summarize, everything? Like this is the clip that you want to be out there on, why Supra, what Supra is building, how people can get involved with Supra. Let's try and like package everything beautifully.
Summary, if I have to tell it to people, so Supra is that one powerful and innovative layer one chain, which is not only like high throughput and fast, but at the same time, it is an amazing piece of tech because it combines all the best elements of a Web3 experience, like Oracle or decentralized verifiable, random functions, as well as native block level automation, bridgeless L1 to L1 communication, all inside a chain, and it is all packed and backed inside layer 1 for the best security, scalability. At the same time, one thing that you would personally love is the multi VM in nature, the move VM, EVM, Solana VM. So every single ecosystem, every single person out there belongs to the Supra ecosystem. They can build easily on the Supra ecosystem, and at the same time, they have a way to work together with each and every ecosystem in Web3. And that's the soul of a decentralized internet that Supra caters to. No matter which ecosystem that you're coming from, the Supra layer one chain caters you this innovative ecosystem, which is just open for everybody to build on and anybody to build on. No matter which ecosystem you're coming from, you'll get the best of this integrated experience on this layer one.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome, guys. So, do you have any places you want to point people to learn more about Supra, to continue to get deeper into Supra, and maybe connect to you as well?
I mean, of course. So I would love to, have people connect to me on Twitter. I'm really active on Twitter. I'm always talking about the whole Supra community. So if you are planning to build something, if you are building something, or if you have built something on our chain, do hit me up or do tag me directly. Tell me about it, and I'll connect you with the broader team. Do join our Discord. Discord is the place where everything happens. Discord is the place where you will find our amazing developer relations team, Nolan and I from the Devrel team. You have our developer marketing manager, John K, and you have much broader Supra team there. So if you are building something on Supra, do check out Discord and do join Discord. We are all active there. We'll help you out at any phase of your journey. And if you have built something cool, or if you just want to reach out to me about it, feel free to connect with me on Twitter. And looking forward.
All right. So that's right there. You heard all about Supra from Jatin. So thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for doing this, and we look forward to seeing what Supra ships. Look forward to seeing everything rolling out soon, and everybody getting involved.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah.